Hari Om. Hari Om, everyone. We will start the session with the invocation prayer. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sah Veeriyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Okay, before we move forward, I request everyone to keep your cameras on so that it will be an interactive session. And please join in the WhatsApp group with the link which you have shared. We will share the PPTs of the lecture in the group for the registered participants. Hari Om. I welcome each and everyone present in this webinar on the Upadevata Suktas, where we will be dealing with the lesser known divinities in the Rigveda. Now, let me take this opportunity to introduce esteemed facilitator for this webinar series, Gauri. Professor Gauri Mahulikar is the academic director of Chinmaya International Foundation and also the chairperson of Chinmaya International Foundation Shod Samsthan. She was a former head of Sanskrit department of Mumbai University and the former dean of faculty at Chinmaya Vishwavidyapit. As a scholar of Vedic traditions, a lover of Sanskrit Sahitya, and devoted adherent of Advait Vedanta, Ma'am has decades of Sanskrit teaching experiences and has mentored numerous PhD students. She has received many accolades work and scholarly pursuits in the field of Sanskrit, including Kavi Kulaguru Kalidasa Sanskrit Sadhan Puraskar by Maharashtra State Government and Adi Shankaracharya Puraskar awarded by the Shankaracharya of Kanchi Kamakoti Peetham. Karnataka Sanskrit University recently awarded her with the honorary D.Lit in recognition for her dedication and extraordinary work in the Sanskrit field. It is an honor to know and introduce such an distinguished scholar, let alone learn from her. Over to you, ma'am.
Hari Om, thank you and welcome you all to this Upadevata Sukta webinar. I will be dealing with 5 suktas based on or dedicated, you can say, to the lesser divinities. But before I start that, I will also do my invocation of the Veda and of Veda Vyasa. Okay? प्रत्यक्षेणानुमित्या च यस्तोपायो न विद्यते प्रत्यक्षेण अनुमित्या च यः उपायः न विद्यते एतं विदन्ति वेदेन तस्मात् वेदस्य वेदता. This is a very famous subhashita sort of shloka to eulogize, glorify the importance of the Vedic corpus, the Vedic literature. The things which you cannot learn or understand by pratyaksha pramana, by direct perception, or by anumiti, by inference, you can know it by shabda pramana, that is Veda. Tasmat vedasya vedata. The very word Veda means knowledge, from vida, to know. Vida also means existence. It exists and therefore it is astika. And therefore those who believe in the Veda, those who believe in the Shabda Pramanya, the word testimony, are called Astikas. Okay? And now over to Veda Vyasa, who did, analyze Vyasaha kim akarot. Vedan Vivyasa Tasmat Vyasa iti uchyate. So Vedo Rashi was primarily stated to be one big corpus of the mantras. It was Vyasa Badarayana who categorized them according to the contents and analyzed them, and therefore he is called Vyasa. We plus our plus show, that is the root, that is to analyze and structure. So he structured the entire corpus of Veda into the four Vedas: Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda and the Atharva Veda. Pradnya balena tapasa, on account of his intelligence and his austerity, his tapas, Chaturveda Vibhajakaha, one who analyzed and divided the four Vedas, Krishna Dvaipayano Yascha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. And one who is Krishna Dvaipayana. Dvaipayana, he was born on a dvipa on an island, and therefore is Dvaipayana. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Okay. Now there may be a few of you participants, many of you I know by names, some by faces because you have been attending my webinars on Vedic Suktas, but some are new. So you can start the Vedic Sukta webinar from any webinar, okay? Because I repeat few things which are there, which one must know essentially before reading or understanding the Vedic mantras. So we are dealing now today, I am having the 5 suktas from the Rigveda. Rigveda is the oldest Veda. It is called Rigveda because Rucham Vedaha Rigvedaha. Rik or Rich is the mantra. You can say the verse, it's a versical composition. It is also called Brahman. Brahma Nama Mantra. Brahma Nama Rik. So Rucham Vedaha Rigvedaha. Now this Rigveda is, there are 1028 suktas and more than 10,000 richas. More than 10,000 richas and 1028. The division of the Veda is in 2 ways, One is the traditional way, which where we have the Ashtaka Paddhati. So there are 8 Ashtakas. One Ashtaka is a group of 8 chapters, Adhyaya. Ashtaka means group of 8. What 8? 8 chapters. Okay, so 8 chapters make one Ashtaka, and 8 Ashtaka, that is 64 chapters, make the entire Rigveda. So this is the earlier or the traditional division, okay, and 5 Ruchas make a Varga and a few Vargas make one Adhyaya. So 5 Ruchas, 5 mantras, 1 Varga. Few Vargas, there could be 3, 4, 10, they make one Adhyaya. 8 Adhyayas make one Ashtaka, 8 Ashtakas make the Rigveda. Okay? So 10,000 more mantras are divided into Ashtaka Paddhati. The modern way, of course this modern way is there in the Rigveda also, because Rigveda is known by the name Dashatai. Dasha is 10. Tai, Tanyate, Tayate, that which is stretched out, spanned across 10 mandalas, is called Dashatai. So now you know the second division is Mandala division. The first Paddhati is Ashtaka Paddhati, the second Paddhati is Mandala Paddhati. So there are 10 mandalas, okay. Now again in the 10 mandalas there is some peculiarity, especially from the 2nd to 8th. From the 2nd mandala to the 8th mandala, they are called Kula Mandala or the family books. What do you understand by family books? For example, the 2nd mandala is seen, so to say, because all these Vedas are revealed to the Rishis, and that's why they are called Rishi. Rushih Kasmat Darshanat. They as if saw. So these are the revelations to them. Okay, when they were in deep austerity, deep tapas, so these ruchas revealed, manifested before them. So the 2nd mandala is Gritsamada mandala. So Gritsamada is the name of a seer. he was a lover of Indra Sukta. Most of the Indra Suktas, the very famous Indra Suktas, Sajanas Indraha, we find in the second mandala. And all the descendants in Gritsamada's family, they will also be there. So it is a family of Gritsamada which has the second mandala's kartrutva, so to say. The third mandala is Vishwamitra mandala. So Madhuchanda Vaishwamitraha. The very first sukta of the Rigveda is Agnimire Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Ritvijam. That is composed in the modern sense by Madhuchanda Vaishwamitra. So Madhuchanda, one whose chandas, prosody, meter is very sweet. That is Madhuchanda. He is Vaishwamitra from the descendant. He is a descendant of Vishwamitra Rishi. And you know what? The famous Savitri Gayatri mantra, which we know, Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, we find it in the third mandala, that is the Vishwamitra mandala. Okay? Then there is a fourth mandala, which is called Vamadeva mandala. Vamadeva is one of the rishis, and we have a very famous, those of you who have attended the Samvada Suktas, they might know about this, the dialogue hymns of the Rigveda. Vamadeva, Aditi and Indra, this Samvada Sukta had dealt with. So Vamadeva is another rishi, fourth mandala karta. The fifth is Atri mandala. And Atri is, again a very interesting feature of Atri is, Atri has the first ever, what you can say, documentation of the Surya Grahana. Isn't it interesting? Surya Grahana, first ever instance in the history of the literature, you find first in the Atri Mandala, in the fifth Mandala of the Rigveda. Okay? So Atri. And in Marathi there is a saying, all these rishis are the Gotrakrit Rishayaha. They are Gotrakritaha. So one who doesn't know his Gotra, then he can say either Kashyapa or Atri. Because Atri Sarvanshi Maitri. Atri is friend of all. Okay, so Atri Rishi is the fifth. Then sixth is Bharadvaja Mandala, Bharadvaja Rishi, and seventh is Vasishtha. Vasishtha, we know Vasishtha Vishwamitra are very famous names, right? So Vasishtha Mandala is the seventh. And again, one important feature of Vasishtha Mandala is Triyambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityor Mokshi Yamamritaat. So this Mahamrityunjaya mantra comes in the seventh mandala, Vasishtha Mandala. Another speciality of Vasishtha Mandala is he is a great ardent devotee of Varuna. So first ever, if you want to see, want to trace, is there bhakti in the Rigveda? Yes, there is, and you can find it in the Vasishtha Mandala towards the Suktas to Varuna. Okay, in fact we have very nice articles on that also. Okay, so that is seventh Mandala, Vasishtha Mandala. The eighth is a mixture of Kanava, Bhrigu and Angiras. Three dynasties, they are related to each other, and their descendants, Medhatithihi Kanavaha, for example. Okay, so Kanava, Bhrigu, Angiras, these are the three Rishikulas, and the descendants of their families, they have, so to say, the Kartrutva, authorship of the eighth mandala. Now second to eighth we saw. What about the first, ninth and the 10th? Right? Now the ninth is a specific mandala in which we have all the suktas addressed to Pavamana Soma. Soma is a deity, Soma is a herb. In fact, Soma was found, in the Soma Yaga especially. We have Soma Yagas, 7 types of Soma Yaga. Agnishtoma, Atyagnishtoma, etc. So in those Soma Yaga, the Soma was either found in the mortar and the pestle, Ulu khala musala or gravano, pata varvanta on two stones like chutney piste hai na, vaise. And then the uska nichod, you take the juice out of that, you strain it, and then it becomes puta pavamana, it becomes purified, and that pavamana soma, all the suktas in the ninth mandala are dedicated to soma, and therefore it is called pavamana mandala. Now comes the first and the 10th. After, see, this was all done by Veda Vyasa. The categorization, structuring of the Vedic ruchas into specific mandalas and all that, that was all done by Veda Vyasa with the help of his student Paila. Okay? For Yajurveda, he took the help of Vaishampayana. For Samaveda, he took the help of Jaimini. And from Atharva Veda, he took the help of Sumantu. So these are the four great, what you can say, disciples of Veda Vyasa, and with the help of Paila, he divided all this. Now whatever suktas were there, they were equally divided, 191, 191. The first mandala has 191 suktas, the 10th mandala also has 191 suktas. So I feel this was done by Veda Vyasa and his followers and his shishyas later on at a later stage, because previously the entire Vedic corpus came as one Rashi. Okay, so this is the structure of the Vedic mandalas. Now, I said that I have taken a few webinars in the Vedic Suktas. The very first one, I think 4 years back, sometimes 4 years back, right, Sagarika? So one of the participants who always participates is here today, and her son is getting Upanita tomorrow. So I'm so glad her entire family is here and she is attending in person today. Otherwise, she is online there always. Sagarika, you must have seen the name. Anyhow, so Veda Pushpanjali was something there in my mind. What I can do for Veda. I can just disseminate the knowledge. I will study a little bit with my limited intellect, with the two pillars of Yaskacharya on the other. Without these two sticks, I can't even go a step further in the Vedic studies. So with the help of these two acharyas, with the Guru Anugraha, I felt that I should reach out to the common people, because talking on Veda, understanding Veda is very difficult. We on our own, like Swadhyaya, it is very, very difficult, because Vedic Sanskrit is little like archaic. We have in every language, like Old English, Victorian English and modern English. Now today's Instagram English, you don't speak of it. Right? So similarly, Vedic language is little bit older, and therefore, to do the Anvaya also, the prose order of the verses becomes at times very challenging. So I thought of reaching out to the people with the Vedic Suktas. Until now, I have done 6 such webinars. This is the 7th in the line. So this is my offering. Veda Pushpanjali, I say, this is my offering to the Veda Purusha, and wherever possible, therefore, because as it is stated in the Mahabharata, Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabrumayed Bibhetyalpashrutat Vedo Mamayam Praharishyati. So wherever possible, I supplement it, the Vedic narratives or Vedic mantras, with the Puranic or the Ramayana, Mahabharata, Itihasa, narratives. Because Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabrumayet. So that is my humble attempt. My thesis was also on that. Somebody from here, Shantala, had she joined, I don't know. So she posted me today my thesis picture, and she said it is such a wonderful work. I'm so grateful to her for this. But then this is my humble offering. And so far, whatever I have done, just a brief survey. So those who are joining newly, they might go back to the chinfo.org, this website, and look for the earlier webinars and do them as and when time permits to you. So the first was on the Agni, then Indra, Varuna, Vishnu and Rudra, 5 deities, but it was 10 days workshop, right? It was a 10 days during Corona, no, during Corona period, but that was the first one. Then I did the part 2 of that, but part 2 I named it as natural phenomena which are deified, and therefore I took Ratri, the night, Usha, the early dawn, then Parjanya, Aditya, and Aranyani, the forest deity. Okay, so this was the second one. Then I did the Samvada Suktas, Pururava Urvashi, Nadi Vishwamitra, Saramapani Samvada, Indra Vamadeva, Diti Samvada, and Indra Apala Samvada. So 5 Samvada Suktas I did. Then I did the Dvandva Devata Suktas, the dual divinities. I did Dyava Prithvi, Ashwini Kumara, Mitra Varuna, Indra Varuna, and Indra Vayu. So 5 again. 5 Suktas, and 1 is a general lecture. Normally 6 days seminar I do. Then I did the Panchamahabhutas, because that's a very famous concept we have. So do we have suktas related to Prithvi, Ap, Tej, Vayu, Akash? And for Prithvi, I selected the Bhumi Sukta of Atharva Veda. And the other 4, Agni, Vayu, there are ample suktas. In fact, Agni and Indra are the most popular deities of the Rigveda. You know what? 1/4 of the Rigveda is Indra Sukta. More than 250 hymns, 250 suktas for Indra, more than 200 suktas for Agni. So they are the most important deities. So every now and then you will get Agni and Indra. And another, like what you can say, a likhita niyamaha. Every mandala starts with a Agni Sukta, because Agni is the most important in the ritual tradition, and ritual tradition is the Atma, the very soul of Yajna Samskriti and the Rigveda Samskriti. Okay, so Agni Sukta every mandala starts with. So I said the Panchamahabhuta Suktas I did, Prithvi, Ap, Tej, Vayu, Akash, and the recent one which I did, the last one was the Srishti Suktas, right? Srishti Suktas, and again in that I chose one from the Atharva Veda, Skamba Sukta, and the other 4 were from the Rigveda. Sukta, Purusha Sukta, and all these. Okay, so these were the 6 webinars done so far, and now I will be doing the 7th one as Upadevata. So what is Upadevata? For that we must know what is a Devata first, right? What is a Devata? Then we come to know what is Upa, subordinate Devata. So there goes a saying in the Vedic tradition, Yasya Vakyam Saha Rushihi. Yasya Vakyam Saha Rushihi. Ya Tena Uchyate Sa Devata. So Devata is not like, Ganapati, Brahma, Vishnu, Kali and all that. Devata is the subject matter of the Sukta. Ya Tena Rushina Uchyate Sa Devata. Yasya Vakyam Saha Rushihi Ya Tena Uchyate Sa Devata Yad Akshara Parimanam Tachandaha. And whatever the Akshara Parimana is the ginti, the count of the letters, because the Vedic Prasodi, the Vedic meters are not Ganavrittas, they are Akshara Vrittas. So Gayatri will have 24 letters, Anushtup will have 32 letters, Trishtup will have 44 letters, Jagati will have 48 letters. Like that, it is Akshara, Yadakshara Parimanam Tachandaha. So Devata is Varanya Vishaya. Got it? Devata is not like, Dev, Bhagwan. Of course they are Deva, they are eulogized, they are worshipped, they are glorified, but it is not in the modern sense of the term that you get a Vigraha and do Puja and Arati of that Devata. Devata is Varanya Vishaya. Now in this Varanya Vishaya, what will be considered as Devata? Just you can think and ponder over that matter a little bit. We have a sentence in the Brahmana literature, Agnishomatmakam Vai Jagat. This entire universe is comprised of Agni, that is heat, and Soma, that is moisture. So heat and moisture make this world. Now this is so true for the human creation, for the creation of any being as such, even the slightest of a mosquito, mashaka and a worm. Heat and moisture, these are the two things, and for this entire cosmos also. If there is no Parjanya, if there is no sun, there won't be any cosmos. And therefore the deities which help in one way or the other and endorse this, they are described as the Devatas in the Rigveda. And therefore we have, in the Agni Tattva, Teja Tattva, we have fire. And fire, as Yaskacharya states, all the Devatas, Tisro Vai Devataha, Prithvi Sthaniyaha, Antariksha Sthaniyaha, Dyu Sthaniyascha. So Prithvi Sthaniyaha, the terrestrial. So if you take the Teja Tattva, then fire in the Yajniya Agni, that becomes a Devata. Simply fire, in the Vadavanala also, the wild fire, that is also Varane Vishaya, that is also Devata. In the Antariksha, it is the Apam Napat or the Vaidyuta Agni, the lightning fire. That also has another name called Apam Napat. I will do this sukta sometime later. There is only one sukta in the second mandala, Grit Samada mandala 235. Yeah. So I'll do it sometime later. So Apam Napat is the mid-region atmospheric fire, and then in the celestial fire we have Adityas, the sun, Savita, Surya, Mitra, and we have the 12 Adityas, the solar orb, the celestial fire principle. And this is, that's why there is a relation between the sun and the fire. It is said that Suryo Vai Ratrau, what does he do? His teja he puts into the fire. And therefore, when during the night the sun doesn't shine, the fire shines and the fire gives light. During the day, even if you kindle the fire, it won't give you light because the sun is shining with all its radiance and luster. So even if the fire is burning, the light is not seen during the night, because it is the sun of the sun. Fire is the son of the sun sun. Okay, so this is fire. Now for water, if you take Agni Soma, right? Agni we have taken, then Soma, that is water or moisture. Soma is not just moon. Soma in the Atharva Veda and the later post-Vedic literature, Soma is moon, and therefore Soma Vasaraha. Today, Adya, Indu Vasaraha, Soma Vasaraha, that is moon day, that has become Monday, moon day. Okay, but otherwise Soma is, the water, Soma is a water principle, the moisture principle, and that comes in so many forms in the entire Vedic literature. It could be the Parjanya. It could be, the rain is considered as a phenomenon because people look for it. If there are no rains, there will be no food. No food for us, no food for the cattle. How will we survive? Our entire life depends on water, and therefore Parjanya we look forward. Who brings the Parjanya? Who brings the rain? There must be some God, who pushes all these clouds together. Okay, dakka maro, yahan se dakka maro, wahan se dakka maro, and all of them, they come at one particular place. They have water in their belly. They have stored the water. They have covered the water. Now somebody has to come and release the water. Indra does that. Indra does it with his weapon called Vajra, which is lightning. He breaks apart the belly of the clouds and the water pours down. So Indra is also associated with water. Now who help Indra? The winds. The clouds are carried to one place because of winds, and therefore the Maruts, the Rudra, all the thunderstorms, the stormy winds, they are also in a way supplementary, right? So they all help. Vishnu is called Upendra. Indra is the god of all the, lord of all the gods, and Upa Indra, he is a subordinate Indra. He also is a deputy Indra. He also helps. So Vishnu also comes there. In fact, if there were no sun, there will be no rain. Just think about it. If there is no sun, there won't be any rain. It is the rays of the sun which suck the water, store it in the solar orb, so to say, and then it is released later on, right? And therefore, all these Adityas, they also are helping Indra in bringing the rain. So all those deities which help in one way or the other to bring the rain, that they are connected with water principle. Then we have water flowing on the earth in the form of rivers. So rivers, they are deified. We have Saraswati. In fact, 3 full hymns in the Gritsamada Mandala, again, the second Mandala to Saraswati, Ambitame, Devitame, Naditame, Vaje Bhir Vajinivati. So what glorification of Saraswati. And then there is a Nadi Sukta in the 10th Mandala where Ganga is also mentioned only once though, but Ganga is mentioned there. So all these principles and pure and simple water phenomenon as such, Ap Tattva, Apaha. So Apaha, there is Apaha Tattva also, that hymn also is there, okay. So there are so many principles of Up and Teja which we have seen as the Devatas, okay. Now in these, some Devatas are very predominant, some Devatas are little subordinate, and therefore Upadevata. Unless we know the Devatas, we won't know the Upadevatas, and therefore now while coming to Upadevatas, I first discuss the Devatas. So Indra is the main deity, Agni is the main deity, then Vishnu is not so main, okay. In the Rigveda there are only 6 suktas of Vishnu. There are multiple references, but more than Vishnu we have Usha Sukta. More than Vishnu we have Brihaspati Sukta. More than Vishnu 50 almost Maruts Sukta. Vishnu has only 6 sukta. 10,000 mantras, we have only few, not even 100 mantras for only Vishnu. Okay. So all these are like, some are very important deities and some assist them in one way or the other, and therefore they are called Upadevatas. Upadevatas in the light of or in the perspective of the post-Vedic literature especially, because now after the literature we do not find, where is Pusha? Pusha, for example. Who is Pusha? We haven't even heard of him. Pushan is one of the Adityas. We'll see the Pushan Sukta, and most of the Pushan Sukta, I tell you, come in the Bharadvaja Mandala, in the 6th Mandala. We are going to see one of those, 654. Very nice, beautiful Pushan Sukta. I love it. I love all the Suktas. So, Pushan is there. Then Mitra is there. Mitra, there is only one full hymn dedicated only to Mitra. Okay, in the Vishwamitra Mandala, 3rd Mandala. But there are multiple references to Mitra. Now, Mitra and Pushan both are Adityas. Both are Adityas. So they got merged into some other important deity, the solar deity. Okay. So the sun or the Savita. In the Rigveda also, there is Surya Sukta, there is Savitra Sukta. 2 are different. Though the principle behind that is the same, the suktas are different, right? So now these Mitra and Pushan, they help the Adityas. They are the Adityas, but they got merged into the Aditya. And so we will have this as Upadevata. Now there is Brihaspati also. So there are so many. I will take an account of these 5 suktas which I am going to deal with in this webinar. Okay. Otherwise I can talk so many things, about so many Upadevatas are there, but I am dealing with only 5 now, so let me concentrate only on these 5, okay? And this Mitra, for example, Mitra is friend also, okay? Mitra is friend. So this aspect of sun is a friend of all. So it is not the scorching heat of the sun, which is that aspect of the sun. Mitra is not that. There is a very distinguishing epithet of Mitra as Yatayajjanan. One who makes the people go forward, wakes them up and puts them to work. Chalo, office jaane ka time ho gaya. You can't roll on your bed till 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. At least by 6 or 7, you should be up and going back to your work, right? So, he is Yatayajjana. It is not the early morning sun. It is after morning, but before noon, maybe somewhere between 8 to 10 or 8 to 11 in modern units of time. That is the Mitra aspect. It is a very lovely aspect, a friendly aspect of Surya, which is helpful for all the beings. Don't we get vitamin D thereby? We prescribe sun bath. Now people prescribe sun bath, open in the beach and all you have. But this is the way, the ancient seers looked upon various aspects of sun. Okay, so Mitra is that aspect of the sun, and out of the 12, there are 12 Adityas, there are 12 months. So each Aditya is assigned 1 month. So Mitra is the deity of Jeshtha Masa. Okay, Jeshtha Masa. And we have his association with Varuna in the Rigveda. In fact, in the Divinities Sukta, I have done Mitra Varuna, and there I have talked about Mitra also. But then I will be dealing with Mitra separately here. And together they govern the entire universe, because Varuna is the Samrat, he is the sovereign king. Indra is the king, but he is not Samrat, he is Raja. Varuna is Samrat, the sovereign king. And his description is like he's seated on a golden throne, Parispashaha Nishedire, and all over, all his sides, Spashaha, the spies, have been sitting there, and reporting to him what's going on here and what's going on there, like that. So he is like a sovereign king. And how he rules the Rita is the cosmic order. Rita. And this is, cognate with the Zoroastrian principle also. Rita we have in the Zoroastrianism also. Rita is a cosmic principle. And this is like, what you can say, Surya Chandrama Saudhata Yatha Purva Makalpayat. There is a definite order in the universe. We don't know of it. But everything takes place. Even the Ritus, the changes, the Samvatsara, that comes one after the other in a specific order. So that order, O-R-D-E-R, that order is in the hands of Varuna. Now this order could be the cosmic order. This order could be the ritual order. In the rituals also, we have to do first Ganesha Pujana and then the what is Ishta Devata Pujana. There is an order, right? We have to do the Ganesha Puja first. Every puja, we have to do the Ganesha Puja, Vigneshwara, because he causes Vignas. So first of all, you pacify him. Oh, please don't cause any. So there is an order, ritual order. Similarly, there is something called moral order. So Varuna rules not only the cosmos, he rules your minds also. So if a person does something wrong, his conscience pricks him. That pricking of the conscience is Varuna's punishment to you. Varuna pricks you through his goad. He is Pashadharin. He has noose, Pasha and Ankusha, both Pasha, Ankusha. So that goad, it pricks you. And therefore, and this Mitra helps Varuna in ruling over this universe. It is said that Mitra is the Teja Tattva, and Varuna is the Soma Tattva. Little like Varuna is night and Mitra is day. So day and night they have to work together. They can't have fight and conflict between them, right? And therefore, ancient, what you can say, with Mithraic society, we have a Mithraic society. We have this Mitra in the Zoroastrianism also, not Mitra, Theta, not THRA. We have it, spell it as THRA now, Mitra, but it is Theta, and that's an androgynous deity. It's a Ubhayalingi Devata, male and female together. Mitra forms the male part, Varuna forms the female part. Okay, so both together govern the entire universe. So that is what Mitra is. Only one sukta, but very, very important sukta, and that also connects, somewhere to the sun bath. I mean, I stretch that meaning to Mitadnyavaha, etc. There is one such word, and if you don't worship Mitra, that means if you don't have any regard for Mitra, then your knees get stuck. Your knees, to be working, what you need is, for the bones to be working, you must have that walk, some brisk walk, some exercise in the early morning period, right? In the daylight and all that. So how it affects your bones, because the deficiency of vitamin D causes the rickets and all these things, the bone related ailments and problems, is it not? Some may be doctors here, so they can verify it, but then that's why Mitra aspect is very, very essential. Okay, then we come to Pushan. Pushan is from Pusha, Pushnati iti Pusha. One who nourishes is Pushan, and it is also a sun aspect. I always visualize Pushan, as an old person, okay, old person, and he symbolizes the pastoral civilization in a way, because he is the one who finds out the lost cattle of a person, of a shepherd, you can say, his goats, his cattle. So it is, all these people, the shepherds and the gopalaka, the cowherds, they praise Pusha, and he helps them find the lost cattle. So this is like, and he is old. Why? Because he is offered karambha. He is offered karam, rice gruel, patla patla pays bolte hai na, like the gruel of rice. So it's a liquid thing which is offered to him, karambhadaha. Why? Karambhada is a distinguishing epithet of Pushan. Why karambhada? Because he doesn't have teeth. Karulati. Now we go to Yaska in Nirukta. Karulati, he will say Karulati anavagatam. Oh, we don't know the meaning thereof. And then he says Krittadati iti syat. Krittadati, his teeth are broken. He doesn't have teeth in his mouth. Naturally, he can't chew the purodasha, the bread which is baked. You need your teeth strong to chew that, to bite that. He can't bite because he doesn't have teeth, and therefore he is offered karamba. Now why he is Krittadati? The story is not in the Vedas. It comes in the Puranas. That's why I say Itihasa Puranabhyam Vedam Samupabruhayet. That will be discussed in Pushan Sukta, but I'll just, because you are so anxious, your faces reveal your anxiety. Oh, what is that story? Everybody listens, likes to listen to stories. Everybody likes stories. So the story comes in many of the incidents or episodes of Dakshadhvara Mathana. This story is a very common story. Daksha performed a sacrifice. He had Sati, his daughter, who married Shiva against Daksha's wish. Daksha did not want her to marry Shiva, but she did marry. And once, Daksha performed a sacrifice. He had, sent the invitations to all, but he did not invite Sati. His own daughter he did not invite. But Sati came to know, and she said, let me go to the yajna. It's my father only, no? He must have forgotten, no? So let me go to the yajna. Shiva tried to oppose her, stop her, but still she said, no, if there is no invitation, what's great deal about it? It's my father's house I'm going to, so let me go. And there she got humiliated. Not only that, Shiva got criticized, and that she could not take anymore, and she jumped into the sacrificial fire. Now, when this was known to Shiva, if he is Ashutosha, he is very Shanta, but once he is angry, he is unstoppable then. Nobody can stop him. Then he created Veerabhadra from his jata, and that Veerabhadra tahes nahes kar diya, he devastated the entire sacrificial shala, the yajna shala. And so many gods had gathered there. No one got any excuse, no one was spared by Veerabhadra, and in that fight, tumula, yuddha, Pushan lost his teeth. The story comes in the Puranas. In the Vedas, there is no story, okay? The narrative is not there at all in the Veda. But the story comes in the Purana. But in the Veda, it is said, Krittadati or Karulati, okay? So now you can relate. You have to join the dots and make it a single string, Sutre Manigana iva. Otherwise, it becomes inexplicable. Okay, that's why itihasa puranabhyam vedam samupabrimhayat. So I can go on talking. So that is Pusha. Pusha is referred to one more time in the Vivaha Sukta. When the girl gets married, it is said that Pusha as if holds her hand and brings her to the Vivaha Mandapa. Hastagriha imam nayati. So Pusha is the one. So we have many, I'm from Karnataka and Maharashtra, both I'm in the border. So in Karnataka and Maharashtra, it is the mama, girl's mama, maternal uncle, who brings her to the holding hand. So this Pusha is looking like a senior person, a mama type of person. I always visualize him as an old person, khandyawar kamla he घेतलेली आहे, and like this he is going on. He encounters him and then he says, oh, माझ्या गायी कुठे बघितल्या का तुम्ही? And then he points at, oh, you have lost your cattle. Oh, go there, because he knows all the spots where the goats might go, where the cattle might go, and they might got lost, in the jungle. So he knows all the nook and corner of the jungle, of the pastures, of the lands and everything. And he is the person who guides, an elderly person, a legendary person. So that is what Pusha is. And he is Pashupati. His Ratha is also goats carry his ratha, not the horses, it is the goats, because he is related with the cattle folk and the shepherd folk. So he looks like a shepherd to me. Okay. Then we have Brihaspati and Brahmanaspati. Two names are there. Just now I referred to in the beginning that Vedic Richa is also known as Brahman. Okay. So Brahmanaha Patihi. It is a Shashti Tatpurusha Samasa. And normally in the samasa, according to the Sanskrit grammar, the vibhakti pratyaya gets elided, it becomes lupta. But here it is not lupta, it is called aluk shashti tatpurusha. Like Yudhishthira is a aluk saptami tatpurusha samasa, Sarasija is a aluk saptami tatpurusha. Now this is not a grammar class, okay, don't worry. So Brahmanaha Patihi, one who is the Lord. What does it indicate? He is associated with the mantras, right? He is associated with the Vedic ruchas or Vedic mantras. Now the word Brihaha Patihi, Brihaspatihi, that is also Shashti Aluk, Shashti Pratyaya. So Briha is the root to grow. From that only we have Brahman. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham, nalpe sukhamasti, said Chandogya. Whatever is big, that is Brahman. So Brahmanat Brahma iti uchyate. So that which grows, which has great mahima, that is, grows not physically like Vishwarupa Darshana, but that which is great in aspect, in content, in meaning, profundity, that is Brahman. And therefore, naturally, he is associated with Brahman, that is the Vedic Ruchas, and therefore he is called as Deva Guru in the post-Vedic literature. Brihaspati becomes Deva Guru, the preceptor of the gods, is it not? Because he is associated with mantras. And a guru, a purohita, needs to know the mantras. So he is the purohita. Purohita is a priest for us. But Purohita, Agnimile Purohitam, it is not just a priest, he is placed in the forefront. Puraha, Hitaha, iti Purohitaha. One who is placed in the forefront is Purohita. Now just have this combination, Brihaspati is Purohita and Indra is the Raja, he is the Kshatriya. So here comes the Brahma and the Kshatra. He underlines the Brahma aspect, the sacerdotal, and Indra underlines or emphasizes the regnum, the regal aspect. So when the Raja and the Purohita work together, the country flourishes. There are no conflicts. Right? Just give it a thought. And then you can talk about Boston Brahmins and other people also. So there are so many aspects to it. One of my students did her work, PhD on this. The Brahma and Kshatriya in the Oriental and Occidental traditions. She got a PhD on that. Because when I was teaching this Brihaspati Sukta, there are 11 mantras. I have chosen one Sukta on the 4th mandala. And there are 11 mantras in that. And you clearly have the Brahma Kshatriya association there. Because this Brihaspati works as a Senapati for Indra. And he helps him win over the lost cows from the Panis. He helps him break the Vala when Indra is called Purandara and all that Purani, Dharayati iti, Shatru Puranam Dharayita, says Sayanacharya, or from Panis he rescues the cows, Saramapani Samvada. Everywhere Brihaspati leads the king. Okay, leads the king, that is Indra. So Brihaspati is the Senapati, he is called the with his brilliance, he is called Divas. Diva, shine, Prakashe, Dhishana, Gishpati, there are so many, Vakpati, Angirasa, and one important thing, there is one Brahmanaspati Sukta. I am not taking that, I am taking the 4th mandala, Brihaspati 450 perhaps, yeah. And the very first mantra is Ganana Antvang Ganapating Nung Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunvan Utibhisi Dasadanam. When do we recite it? For Ganapati. Don't we recite this mantra for Ganapati? So in a way, Brihaspati of the Vedas has merged into the post-Vedic Ganapati deity. Both are related to Vidya, both are related to Jnana. Without them, there is no Jnana, right? Both are praised and glorified for their wisdom. And if we want to be Jnani, we worship Ganapati. He is Jnana Data, is it not? And therefore, the Ganapati Pujanam we do with this mantra, which originally comes as the Brahmanaspati mantra in the Rigveda. So, Upadevatas later on merged into some other deities. And therefore, there is no Brihaspati Pujana now, except for Brihaspati as a Jupiter, as a Graha in the planetary system. We don't have Brihaspati. In the Navagraha Puja, we'll do it, right? But the Brihaspati mantra we employ for the Ganapati Puja. Okay? and therefore this merging also happens many times of the Upadevatas. There is a very unique deity called Ribhus. रुभवः कस्मात् ऊरुभान्ति इति रुभवः और स्वर्गे देवमातुः अदितेः वा भवति इति रुभवः. So basically these Ribhus are three brothers, and they are sort of artisans of gods like Tvashta. Tvashta you have heard of, right? Tvashta is also one of the Adityas, by the way. And it is Tvashta's daughter Saranyu who was married to Surya. Now that Saranyu could not tolerate the luster of Surya, so she left Surya and went back to her father's home, Tvashta. Then there is Chaya. She replaced herself by her replica, her dummy called Chaya, her shadow. And then Chaya, Martanda, Sambhutam, Shanaishchara. There are so many stories. They come in the Puranas. But how they are, somewhere or the other there is a linkage, there is an association. So if you are reading Rigveda, don't underestimate Puranas or Itihasas. They are very helpful in understanding the Vedic mantras. Okay, I'm not going to tell you the story of that now. But Ribhus are like Tvashta, they are also the artisans of gods. And they have made wondrous things, like somebody had given them one chamasa, one like a bowl, and they made 4 out of that. There is a fantastic explanation of that I'll be giving in the Ribhus Sukta, not now. So there are so many interesting things, and one interesting thing is they rejuvenated their aging parents. In the list of their miraculous deeds, one reference is they rejuvenated, revived, as if gave new life to their aging old parents. Now who could be these Ribhus? The Ribhus could be the Ritus, the seasons, and their parents are the Samvatsara. So they as if revived. That means every year, the Ritus come and go, but every year is a new year for us. Is it not? So it's a rejuvenation of the aging parents. And they did so many other things, wondrous things we will know in the Ribhus Sukta. So there are 3 brothers, Ribhukshan, Vibhan and Vaja. So these are the 3 brothers. In the later Puranas and others, there are other stories also. So some of these stories will be taken into consideration in the Ribhus Sukta. And then the last one is the Maruts Sukta. The 5th Sukta I will be taking on Saturday now. And Maruts are the sons of Rudra. Rudra is a god of thunderstorm in the Veda, and not just the Shiva. Though so many of the epithets of Shiva, like Nilakantha, Kapardi, etc., are there used for Rudra as well. We have the entire Rudra Adhyaya in the Yajurveda, the Chamaka and the Namaka. Recently we had the Mahashivaratri Puja where we had Rudra Namaka and Chamaka. You must have also had it. So there are so many epithets of Rudra which are like transferred to the post-Vedic Shiva. So Shiva is a prototype of Rudra, you can say, and Maruts are regarded as Rudra's sons, Rudriyaha or Rudrasaha. They are called Rudrasaha or Rudriyaha. And Marut doesn't come as a single deity. It is Marut Gana. It's a group of Maruts. How many are there? There are 49 or 60. Number is 49 or 60. How come 49? There is a story. Story comes in the Puranas. Story again comes in the Puranas. And it is like Diti, wanted to have a son which would be able to kill Aditi's son, that is Indra. Diti and Aditi are co-wives. Naturally, there will be rivalry and enmity. And Indra has already killed Diti's one son, and therefore she wants a son. And therefore Indra Shatru Vardhasva. There is a story in the Shiksha Grantha also, we have that story. But now this Indra comes to know that Diti has Kashyapa that she will get a son who would be able to vanquish Indra. Indra is really worried. Now Kashyapa has blessed her and he goes for his austerities and all. But there are certain rules and regulations laid down for Diti. She should not do this, she should not do that. And this Indra goes there in the form of a Batu to serve her because she is all alone in the ashrama, and because Kashyapa has a therefore, she also entertains a young boy, serving her, bringing her water, bringing her some fruits, this, that, So he earns her confidence and serves her for a certain time, and then he is all the time waiting for an opportunity. He is waiting for some drawback, some lacuna, some deviation in her vrata, and then he will get that opportunity. And once it becomes so, it's a late evening, Pradosha Kala, and she has taken bath, her hair are loose, and she is sitting her head down in her two knees. Just imagine a woman sitting with her hair loose, in the bending her head low, and these are all taboos. Even now, if you have some elderly people in your house, संध्याकाळच्या वेळेला काय केस सुट्टे टाकलेत, tie them. This is not the period, when you should have loose hair and you should do like this. You should be all fresh, you diva jalao, and shubham karoti kalyanam. All this because this is the time evil forces enter our house, and therefore we have to do shubham karoti kalyanam. These are all customs. We don't know why we are following these customs. The seed is somewhere in such taboos, don'ts. Don't do this, don't do that, right? So she did that because she was very languid because of her progressing pregnancy and all that. She was become a little lazy, languid, and therefore she did that. Indra got this opportunity and broke her fetus with his vajra. It started crying. Maruda. Therefore they are called Maruts. Etymology is Maruda, he says, don't cry. And therefore Maruts could be derived from Maruda, but the original etymology which Yaska also gives is from Mru. Mru, Mriyate. Mriyate praninaha yad abhavad iti marutaha. All the beings cannot survive, cannot sustain life without Maruts. If there is no breath, there is no air, how can we breathe in? How can we survive? Maruts is air. Maruts is pancha pranaha, prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. The pranayama purpose, prana, apana, but he told them the fetus, the 7 pieces, and then he further divided them into 7 each, and therefore they became 49 Maruts. Then, in the Puranas the story comes, not here in the Vedas, okay? This is all the Puranic story, and then the Diti cursed Indra, you will not be worshipped anymore on the Bhutala. That's why we don't have Indra temples now. But then he said that I will treat them as my brothers, they will follow me wherever I go, and I will take care of them. And therefore Maruts are the followers of Indra. Maruts are the soldiers for Indra. And wherever Indra goes, Maruts are also welcome there. And Indra is offered Soma, Maruts are also offered Soma. Not every Vedic deity gets the Somapana Adhikara, but Maruts do get it because Indra has promised that he will take care of his brothers. So these are all the stories in the Puranas, right? So Marut Sukta we will do. And this is what I have planned for this webinar. So Mitra, Pushan, Brihaspati, Ribhus and Maruts, 5 Suktas from tomorrow onwards. And I hope you will enjoy this webinar as usual, as I see so many familiar faces here, like Umaji is there, Raj, Sivi Raj is there, Lalita ji there who are already joining. Parth is there, right? Parth? No. But Parth has, I think Parth has registered somewhere. I saw Swaramugda is there. So many and known names are there. I'm so happy to be addressing you all in one more webinar. And I should close. It's time also. Yeah, it's time also. How just time just flies away. So we'll meet tomorrow onwards, and the order will be like I told: Mitra, Pusha, then Brihaspati, Ribhus, and last will be Maruts. And then if you have any questions, etc., we can have them whatever suits you. If there are no questions, good for me. If there are questions, better for me. Okay? With this, Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. See you tomorrow with Mitra Sukta. Hari Om. Till then.